Oh, hello YouTubers, welcome back to Yorkshire Media 1. I am Mark, your host, your presenter, whatever you want me to be. Yes, I am cheaper and better than the BBC. That's my catchphrase. So, what are we talking about today? Well, I'm doing a film review on The Aviator. Leonardo Dicaprio, The Aviator. It's playing Howard Hughes. And it's a true story of Howard Hughes. I don't think it's the complete story, but it's the true story of Howard Hughes and the Spruce Goose. As simple as that. So we will get to that. So how the film it all begins when opening scene is where a young child of Howard Hughes is there being washed by his mother, and she's teaching him how to spell quarantine and things like that. And she tells him, "You're not safe. There's disease everywhere." And things like that. And then it moves on from there to the set of a film that Howard Hughes is directing, Hell's Angels, and that. It doesn't exactly tell you the story how he got rich, but so it starts with the film Hell's Angels, making Hell's Angels film. It's a World War One film with World War One airplanes and things like that, and it goes on from there. The main point of this is within the production of Hell's Angels, he's wanting faster planes, and he gets a faster plane with a 450 engine in it, a radial 450 engine, but the struts can't take it. Biplanes, the struts cannot take it. So he says, take the top wing off, yeah. Let's have a monoplane, and that's what he does. They make a monoplane. He tells them, I want aerodynamics on rivets, so they countersink all the rivets into the metal. And when you look across the plane, you can hardly see them and things like that, and it makes it slippery, a lot more slippery than what it should do. And that's what he's doing. But the Hell's Angel film, takes 2 years to make, and then he tells one of his mates, goes to a film review, and he says that's the way forward. Talking pictures, we should reshoot Hell's Angels for talking pictures. And it cost millions of pounds to do it, but he did it. And then you released the film, so it took 3 years to do it all in all. But in the meantime, he's made this fast plane, a mono-wing plane, and he gets into it. He gets told he's only got enough fuel for 2 passes, and then he has to land. He says, "Don't go too fast." But Howard Hughes is Howard Hughes. He doesn't listen. He takes off in this wonderful plane, and it's fast. And the final speed, the final pass, what he makes, he's doing 352 mile an hour. He's the fastest man in any airplane, but unfortunately, he crashes that airplane into a beetroot field. Unfortunately, he's not severely injured, but that's what happens. And then from there on, Hell's Angels gets released and things like that, and movie premiere and things, and slowly but surely he's becoming paranoid and a germaphobe, as we all know. Clean film on plane wheels and things like that. He's definitely considered OCD, but they didn't know what the term was back then. We know it now as germophobic, or he's definitely OCD because he's always washing his hands and things like that. But he goes out with wonderful women like Ginger Rogers and Catherine Hepburn and things like that. Goes out with her, but she doesn't love him and things, and Scarlett O'Hara doesn't either, but he does. How can I put it? He does have that kind of relationship and things like that, and he buys TWA, the airplane company, and things like that. And he does design a warplane, a spy plane, but before that he does launch his idea for a big plane. It takes 4 engines on each wing, and it would be called the Hercules, and he shows that off. But it takes so long to build, the war's finished. Because he's wanting it perfect, if you know what I mean. His life will be in this. Meanwhile, the building the XF experimental spy plane, XF-11 I think it's called, and that gets shown and things like that. And they seem happy with it. Then you got the Constellation, which he gets made, and he gets the first, I think it's first 18 planes, I can't remember, but he gets the first choice of the Constellation airplane and buys it himself. He uses his own money to do that. Then he does the XF flight test, which goes wrong. It can fly, don't get me wrong, it can do 250 mile an hour, but his wings dip. In other words, his propeller reverses thrust, and it spins him like that, and he crashes into, I think it's into Belleville Hills. Yeah. You see the airplane crash. So that's the main point of that. And then he gets Senator Brewster with one trip, Pan Am, is wanting to only be the only airline carrier to fly from America to Europe. And Howard Hughes is told this, and he says, no, you cannot have a monopoly like that. So Howard Hughes refuses. He says, we're going, and One Trip talks to Howard Hughes. He visits him, and he says, so you're going, 3,000 miles, so you're going down to Mexico and South America? And he says, no, I'm going across the Atlantic. And he says, how the hell are you going to do that? He says, it's easy. He says, fly from New York to Newfoundland, Newfoundland to Highland to Paris. And that's how he does it. And then he quickly figures out, when One Trip's gone, the owner of Pan Am, when he's disappeared, he says, sack so-and-so, because he's spying for him. And that's what happens. He gets paranoid as well, and things like that. And it goes down like that. Even with zippers or buttons or whatever for sleeping compartments. Because remember, this is the early years of aviation and things like that. But Senator Bruce is going to pass a CAB bill, and it will say that only Pan Am can be the international carrier. And I would use his TWA, Trans World Airline, is going to go across to Europe. So Senator Brewster sets up a meeting with Howard Hughes, Leonardo Dicaprio, saying, look, if you sell TWA, we won't have this investigation, and there won't be a senator hearing. It'll all go away. Howard Hughes challenges it. He really does. He really challenges it. And then he goes into what I would say a bit of a depression, because he locks himself in his private showing cinema room. He locks himself into there, and he goes through his depression of that urinating in milk bottles and things like that. Like I say, he's a germaphobe. He really is. And he's watching the film, what he's made and things like that. And then eventually he comes, One Trip visits him and tells him, well, I'm going to get Pan Am in Acres because you're going to default on your loans. And he says, well, Howard Hughes tells him he won't get TWA. And he says, yeah, but so One Trip says to Howard Hughes' financial man, don't let people see him at that hearing. Let's remember him how he was. In other words, they don't want him to go to the hearing. But he does go. He goes to the Senator Brewster's Senator hearing, and he makes Howard Hughes defends himself, also shows up Senator Brewster, because he's flying in Pan Am to Peru and things like that, and Howard Hughes makes the connection with Senator Brewster and One Trip. And he says, well, he's a good friend. He says, no, he's more than a friend. You're working for One Trip and things like that. And then he finally says, in that senator hearing, he says his famous words. And I've been made out to be everything, but I am not a liar. And Spruce Goose will fly. And things like that. Say, I'm not a liar and things like that. And then he cuts to the Spruce Goose, where he's in it, he gets on board, he fires her up, he does the turn, and he gets set to take her down and hopefully take off, because he doesn't know if it'll fly or not, but he says it will, and he's always stated that it would, and it did. It did fly. It lifted up. If you see the real footage of the Hercules and Howard Hughes footage, it's black and white footage, and you can see it lifting off. It takes it up to about 5 foot. In reality, in the film, it does lift off and go. It does fly, and it lands to a great parade. And then Howard Hughes, he says, we need to, see if we can use jet power for airplanes. So Howard Hughes is always one step ahead of his competition all the time, but he's a germaphobe, paranoid as well, and things like that. And it ends where he's having a breakdown, and they put him in toilet and says, "Get a doctor. Don't let anyone see him in this state." And then we cut to the bathroom where he's in, and he's repeating himself, and he's looking in the mirror, and he sees in mind's eye a young Howard Hughes being washed by his mother and things like that, and being told you're not safe and things like that. And that's where the film ends. But it's a damn good film. The key features, what I pointed out, is pretty. It is what it is. The aviator itself is very good. It really, 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 really is. It's starring Leonardo Dicaprio. Now, this will stay in my collection. It's a rewatchable film, in my opinion. I do like it, and I do like what it did, and it's set in like 1920s to 1930s and 40s and things like that. But this is only this is only half of the story of Howard Hughes. It didn't really go into why he became a recluse, but there you go. But that's the film, The Aviator. It's showing what Howard Hughes did. So Howard Hughes, in reality, got rich, became a film director, started making films, and filmmaker and things like. Then became an aviator, making planes and stuff like that, and that's how it went. And he owned TWA. In the end, TWA went bankrupt in any case, and obviously now Pan Am's gone bankrupt, haven't they, really, and things like that. So it is what it is. So Aviator is a damn good film. I like it, and I will always have it. So that's my film. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you liked it. I've explained as much as I can. I don't want to give it away, but I have given the ending away. But there you go. But it is what it is. It's a good film. I like it. It's Leonardo Dicaprio, which is a film legend. He did Titanic and things like that. So there you go. So hopefully you've liked that. If you have liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please like the video. Please subscribe if you're new and hit the bell icon, hit all. That will let you know when I'm uploading another video. Come back from time to time to make sure that you still subscribe to me, because YouTube has a nasty habit of unsubscribing people. Also, please share the video to your friends and your family, and to places like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Also, use the comment section below and we can have a conversation, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye for now. Catch you all later. Bye.